After its release date at the very end of March 2017, 13 Reasons Why has taken the world by storm. Fans immediately fell in love with the plot, the story, and the characters of the show. It is originally based on the 2007 novel written by Jay Asher, and it has the same title. And you can pretty much bet that the 6 million viewers per episode that Netflix was getting because of this show are not going to waste. They planned on milking this for as long as possible. The story was initially about Clay Jensen and his already dead high school friend Hannah Baker. And the reason for her suicide were the bullying, gossip, and even sexual assault. Feeling that there is no way out of the hole she saw herself in, she decides to take her own life. But that's not all. She leaves a box of cassettes on Clay's doorstep, in which she explains why she decided to take her life. Feeling like this movie was going to be a hit, Universal Pictures jumped on the opportunity, and together with Netflix, they've created one of the most popular TV shows hitting the Netflix top 10 list. Now, a lot has happened since the initial plot, and in the third season, we have Monty dead, and Annie decided to make it look like Bryce was the one to do it. So with Season 3 out of the way, what are we to expect of Season 4? Join us as we take a look at 13 Reasons Why Season 4 Secrets the cast doesn't want you to know. Let's go. It's going to be the last season. Brian Yorkey, the showrunner of 13 Reasons Why, said that the series will unfortunately not have any more installments. This is going to be the final season of the show, and there are no signs that the crew will be making a spin-off series based on this popular show either. Other things they said was that this season is going to have only 10 episodes, unlike the previous 3 seasons, which all had 13 episodes in their ranks. Brian then went on to say that the reason he only wanted 4 seasons of the show was simple. High school lasts only 4 years. Thus, his show should be in accordance with this rule. Furthermore, he feels if the show were to do any more episodes and installments, it would become one of those suspicious shows that are way too long. Release date and trailer. When should we expect this show to air with its brand new season? Well, they've settled on Friday the 5th of June, 2020. So there's less than 10 days before we get to watch the brand new show. And we know that fans aren't too happy about the 10 episodes in Season 4 compared to 13 in the previous season. But Brian said, we've given them 39 reasons why at least, so I feel like we can say, yes, the show is still called 13 Reasons Why. This season is just 10 episodes. When it comes to the trailer, it is centered around only one question. Who killed Bryce Walker? The storyline tells us to smash that like button if you haven't done so already, but in all seriousness, it tells us that Deputy Sloan could have had something to do with it, but doesn't leave out the possibility that anyone could have done the same thing if they were placed in the same environment and put under the same pressure. So although they tell us what Season 4 is going to be about, they don't tell us who has done the unthinkable. What should we expect from Season 4? For the moment, the only thing we know is that the script is going to be based around the high school graduation of the cast. They might even bring back the already deceased Bryce Walker. Although Justin Prentice, the actor that plays Bryce, says that he feels satisfied with how his character's story was developed throughout the show and feels ready to leave that role behind in order to focus on new projects. And who knows, maybe Winston finally finds out the truth about the gang and what they tried to cover up. One thing is certain though, he knows Monty didn't do it, as she was by his side while the event was taking place. But will he be motivated enough to start digging around and uncover the crime? Or will he just leave everything and not even bother? Who's returning in Season 4? Even though some of the characters are dead, that doesn't mean they're going to be left out of the show. Anything is possible on 13 Reasons Why, so we could be seeing more of Justin Prentice. But we know for a fact that Clay, played by Dylan Minnette, Justin Brandon, played by Brandon Flynn, Tony, played by Christian Navarro, Alex, played by Miles Heiser, Tyler, played by Devin Druid, Zach, played by Ross Butler, and Jessica, played by Alicia Bowe, are going to be back. And again, even though Monty is dead, the actor Timothy Grandero said that the story of his character is so complex, there's an opportunity to see more of Monty's story revealed, even past his tombstone. Then we have Brian Yorkey confirm in an Instagram post that Gary Sinise will be joining the ranks of 13 Reasons Why in the next season. Is Monty still alive? If not, how did he die? If there's one thing we know about off-screen deaths, it's that they're never really believable. So we've grown accustomed not to believe anything the cast decides to do off-screen. Even though Deputy Standall revealed that Monty was killed in his jail cell, we never actually got to see how everything went down. If he's dead, we want answers. If he's alive, we want them even more. Does everyone else feel like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to uncovering the reasons behind Monty's death? Will Monty be avenged by Winston? As previously said, if Winston decides to avenge the dead Monty, then we could see a whole plethora of main characters go down. But in the last episode, when Winston and Annie are talking, we got to see how much he cared for Monty, and Winston even thought that the guy was framed for no apparent reason. Should this guy decide to start digging around and come up with an alibi for Monty, then Annie's entire group could be brought to its knees. And if he does find one, then no one is going to be safe anymore. And that includes Zach, Deputy Standall, and Alex. Will Annie narrate again in Season 4? We know the troubled past that Grace Schaaf has had with fans of the show. She even had to delete all of the photos on her newly opened Instagram account and lock her Twitter account. Fans simply didn't like her. Fans were trashing her all over social media, all because they didn't like her newly introduced character in the 3rd season of the show. It got so bad that one of her co-stars, Granderos, had to come out and tell fans not to forget that the talented actress was only playing a character, and to make them realize that behind the mask of Annie lies a real person with feelings and emotions. Grace was the narrator of the 3rd season. We know that, but will she be coming back to narrate the 4th one? Well, that's a question a bit controversial. Knowing the turbulence she had with her fans, maybe the show will decide not to risk the popularity, even though she's a talented actress. Will Annie and Clay date? Here's another thing fans are worried about. Will Annie, the new cat on the block, start dating Clay? All of that kissing couldn't have been in vain. Clay gave her a bike and they shared a special moment together. Not to mention that, Annie had to jump through so many hoops just so she could prove her friend was not a criminal and he didn't commit the crime. Pair that with Clay meeting Annie's mom, the questions that fans are having are more than legit. And you can't say that you didn't notice how much the two are alike. So maybe they'll decide to showcase the new romance in the new season. Why was Sherry absent in Season 3? This is one of those questions only hardcore fans of the show will want to ask. If you were watching the show from its 1st season, then surely you've noticed that curly-haired, brown-eyed Sherry was missing in Season 3. What happened to her? Will we get to see her in the following season? Guess we'll have to wait and find out. What will happen to Deputy Standall? With all of the illegal stuff going on and the gang graduating high school, maybe they won't be able to keep all of the guns, heroin, and murders under the rug. Maybe someone is going to be locked up. And maybe, just maybe, Deputy Standall could end up on that list. With him and his son Alex having a murky past, and both being involved in a gruesome cover-up, with the police deputy even destroying evidence in the finale, will he just lose his job? Or will he go visit the Slammer? That's what we had to say when it comes to the 4th season of 13 Reasons Why. Hey, what do you think will be the biggest event that will take place in the following season? You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.